Hello everyone and welcome to my video on everything about Celtic women. The ancient Celts were a diverse and vibrant culture that spanned across Europe, and their history is filled with fascinating tales of heroism, magic and intrigue. But what about the women of this culture? Despite the challenges they faced in a male-dominated society, Celtic women played important roles in every aspect of life, from politics and religious to art and culture. In this video, we'll delve into the intricate details of Celtic women's life, exploring their customs, traditions, and beliefs, from the warrior queens and druidesses to the skilled artisans and healers. We'll uncover the stories and legends of these remarkable women and celebrate their contribution to the Celtic culture. So sit back, relax, and join me on this journey through time as we discover everything there is to know about Celtic women and their fascinating worlds. Celtic women played an important role in their societies, both in public and private life. Celtic women held a higher status in their societies than women in many other ancient cultures. They were allowed to own property, inherit land, and participate in political and legal affairs. Women played a significant role in Celtic religion as priestesses, healers, and diviners. They were believed to have special powers and connections to the spirit world. Celtic women were skilled in many crafts, including weaving, embroidery, and pottery. They were also accomplished musicians and dancers. The warrior Queen Boudicca led a rebellion against Roman rule in Britain in the 1st century AD. She is remembered as a symbol of Celtic resistance and female power. The goddess Brigid was one of the most important figures in Celtic mythology. She was associated with fertility, healing, and smithcraft, and was revered by both men and women. Celtic women often wore distinctive clothing and jewelry, including elaborate torse necklaces and brooches. These items were often made from precious metals and decorated with intricate designs. In some Celtic societies, women were allowed to have multiple husbands. This practice was known as polyandry. The Celtic concept of sovereignty was closely linked to the figure of the queen. The queen was seen as embodiment of the land and had the power to grant or withhold prosperity and fertility. Irish mythological figure of such legend was trained by a woman warrior named Boudicca. She was renowned for her fighting skills and taught the youthling the art of combat. Celtic women played a key role in the transmission of cultural traditions and knowledge. They were responsible for passing on stories, songs, and customs from one generation to the next. Celtic women had a strong sense of independence and were not afraid to assert their rights. In some cases, they even went to the war to defend their land and families. For example, the historical figure of Queen Medb led her army into battle against the legendary hero Cuchulainn in the Irish epic Tón Bú Druidesses were important figures in Celtic religion and society. They were respected for their knowledge of natural magic, divination, and prophecy. Some druidesses were known to have the ability to shape-shift into animal forms. Women were also involved in the creation and maintenance of sacred sites in Celtic culture. They were responsible for building and decorating shrines, temples, and burial mounds. In some Celtic societies, women held positions of political power. For example, the historical figure of Queen Cartimendo ruled over the Brigid tribe in northern England during the Roman occupation. The Celtic goddess Epona was associated with horses and was often depicted riding a mare. She was revered by both men and women and was believed to protect travelers and their mounts. Some Celtic women were renowned poets and storytellers. They composed epic poems and recited them at feasts and gatherings, passing down the story and legends of their people. The Celtic festival of Beltane was traditionally celebrated by lighting bonfires and dancing around them. Women played a central role in these celebrations, which were associated with fertility and the renewal of life. The Celtic warrior Queen Maeve is a popular figure in Irish mythology. Is often depicted as a fierce and formidable leader. She is remembered as a symbol of female strength and resilience. The Celtic concept of the triple goddesses was associated with the phases of the moon and the cycle of life. The maiden, mother, and crown were seen as different aspects of the feminine divine and were revered by many Celtic cultures. Now I'm gonna explain more about Beltane Festival. Beltane was one of the most important festivals in the Celtic calendar, marking the beginning of summer and the return of the sun's warmth and fertility to the land. The festival was celebrated on May 1st in Ireland and Scotland, although the exact date varied depending on the region and specific traditions. Beltane was a time of great joy and celebration, with feasting, music, and dancing. One of the most important rituals was the lighting of the Beltane fire, which was believed to have purifying and protective powers. The fire was traditionally lit on a hilltop or other prominent location, and people would gather around it to sing and dance. Many of the Beltane customs were associated with fertility and the renewal of life. Couples would jump over the Beltane fire together as a symbol of their union and to bring luck and fertility to their relationship. In some areas, young people would spend the night in the woods, gathering flowers and herbs to decorate their homes and villages. Beltane was also a time when the veil between the worlds was believed to be thin, and supernatural beings such as fairies and spirits were thought to be more active. People would leave offerings of food and drink for these beings in the hope of gaining their favor and protection. Overall, Beltane was a time of great significance and joy in Celtic culture, celebrating the renewal of life and the power of the sun and earth to sustain us. So that's it for our video on everything about Celtic women. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the lives and legend of these remarkable women and discovering the intricate details of Celtic culture. From the powerful queens and warrior priestesses to the skilled craftswomen and storytellers. Celtic women play a vital role in shaping the history and traditions of this fascinating culture. And even today, their legacy continues to inspire and captivate us. So thank you for joining me on this journey through time, and I hope you'll continue to explore the rich and diverse world of Celtic culture. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. Until next time, so long go follow, which means goodbye for now in Irish Gaelic. Bye!